Hello everyone, it's Ginger here. Welcome back to another video. I am still ill, but these arrived in the mail and I completely forgot I'd ordered them, and now I just, I can't just sit there and leave this box unattended without trying this lot out. So welcome to an art haul video. I just wanted to see what these are. Now, most of you are aware that a lot of my pet portrait work and stuff are with Pitt pastel pencils. This one, which is a Pitt oil pencil, and Caran d'Ache pencils. And recently it was recommended to me, if I was looking for something a bit softer and also a bit cheaper, that I should try the CarbOthello. So I have the Stabilo, I bought some of the Stabilo CarbOthello pastel pencils. That's these ones here. You can see they're a compressed wood like the Pitts, like these. So we'll see how they fare. And I also got some watercolours. Now these are super granulating. I've wanted some super granulating watercolours for ages, and the only watercolours I really have on a semi-professional level are my Winsor & Newton Cotman set. So I really wanted something that I could continue playing with and adding texture to my landscape work, so I thought these would be a really good investment and to go. I got a couple of half pans, and this colour, which is the Nebel Blue, Haze Blue, they didn't do that in a half pan for some reason at Jackson's, so I had to get it in a 5mm tube. So we got a couple of things to try out. I'm really looking forward to the watercolours. And there's my little two half pans. So this one is they're all Schminke, they're all the Horadam Aquella. So that is forest blue. So that one is blue to the yellow brown tones. That one is blue green to blue. And then I've also got desert, I think I bought. Here. Desert brown, which is brown to the oranges. So kind of perfect because that's the sort of colours we've got up here. I'd love to get a purple one, but I don't really like the options. They have more pinks and purples, and maybe it's because some of the blue purples, like the lavenders and maybe some of the heather purples, you can't get the pigment, you can't get the granulating pigment base in it. So, but we'll see. Right, put those off to the side. We're going to start with, I'm making a mess of the sketchbook pages already. I'm going to start with the Stabilos. Do apologise if I sound really breathy, I still can't breathe properly. But then we're only on day 5, and normally if I get these sorts of things, it's here for at least a couple of weeks. So, but at least I'm up, which is an improvement. So I got a classic range of colours that I use a lot for the pet portraits, because if I like these, then I will continue to use these with the pet portraits. They have a similar light fast rating to the Pitt pastels. They are, so you can see here, or at least I hope you guys can see, we've got 1, 2, 3 stars. That's the light fast rating, and the same on these. They have the stars, and you can see here the Stabilo one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. So that has a higher light fast rating than the Pitt oil base. I think it's got a similar rating to the Pitt pastel pencil, which isn't a surprise. So I'm gonna put the box to one side and we'll swatch these. I've got some really good, they're all kind of pet colours, so there's no exciting colours in this box. So I do apologise, sorry guys. Nothing remotely exciting, I'm afraid. I'll try not to bounce the camera too much. It is moving an awful lot. So this is the CarbOthello pastel pencils. There we go. Right, well, we'll start with this one then. This is our black. Should I write the numbers under? I'll write the numbers under, but I'll write them under with the Pitt oil, just because that'll give me a cleaner number, because these on this paper, it's a very smooth paper, and also is mixed media paper, so being the pastel, they are very soft. They're almost as soft as the Caran d'Ache, actually. In fact, they might be as soft as the Caran d'Ache. Now that can lead to problems. I'm also getting bits of red everywhere and I have no idea where that's come from. Just rub it on my fingers. Right, because we're doing this over. Ooh, look at that. Is that? Oh, that's dust that's come off and then spread and cannot get that off. Wonderful, good to know. Produces a lot of dust. Oh, what number is that? Is that number? So the numbers are always, you've got a big long number, you've 4-digit number, and then you've got a 3-digit number. I think they're all done by the 3-digit number. In this case, the black is 750. So we've got a number of greys. Greys are really interesting because even with the Pitt pastel pencils, you don't really get a lot of choices for grey, so it's pretty good to see some decent cool and warm tone greys in this. Yeah, there is a lot of dust coming off this. That is number 726. 726. This is another darker one. Ooh, I like the kind of, it's almost like a pink violet tone to that. If I'm right, that's Payne's Grey. So I'm not surprised by the colour tone of that one. That's 770. I know I've got some duplicates in here, so I won't redo those ones. Probably going uphill as well. So ignore me if I'm doing that. This one is 724. Which one's this one? Some of these are easier to read because of the lighter the colour on the base, the easier it is to read. The darker ones are an absolute nightmare. And seriously, pencil manufacturers, please don't use foiled lettering. I know it looks pretty, but you see people with sight impairments, oh my gosh, is it a nightmare? You get so much reflection from the lights, you can't actually see the number. That one's 722. These are some of the lighter greys of the particular colours I was trying to get hold of. That's another 722, and this is 720. So this is the warmer version of the light, yeah. So you can see the difference between those two. That's pretty impressive. They're both light greys, but one's cool and one's warm. And this is 720. Okay. And then we got another light one again. And this one is 110. I don't know why it's not a 700. It is a pastel pencil, so I have no idea. Right, let's pull out colours I've already done. 708, okay, I haven't done that one. Just trying to get all the greys. That's another warm grey. It's almost a brown, it's not a brown though, it is one of their greys. It's a gorgeous colour, isn't it? The thing is with doing pet portraiture is you do need cool greys and warm greys because you will have a mixture of both. That's 110 again. And this one is 700, so this is kind of getting into the more interesting colours. I like this one. This features a lot, features in my cat anyway. So this is number 700. We have the white, which I will lay down. You can't see that, but I can see that against the page, which is good. No, I've probably forgot the number, I'm pretty sure it's 100. 100. Which means it's a really nice, vibrant, probably in the UK we call it a Daz white, and I know a lot of you will know what that means. It's a very pure white, like titanium white. Right, so let's just take a few of these out. Already done. Which number is this? 706. Haven't done that one. So these are more of our kind of taupe colours. So like a brownie grey. So that's 706. 706. My handwriting today is terrible, so don't judge me. You're probably already judging me, so judge me less. There is not much difference between those two. There is a very slight brownie difference between them. One has got a little bit more brown in it. I haven't done this one, have I? No. 704. So I think if I buy these again, I might not buy both the 706 and the 704. I might just go with one or the other, because if you've got a cooler undercolour and you put the warmer colour on the top, it will cool it down. So, you know, it's harder to warm up from cool than it is to cool down from warm. So I might consider my options on that one. Right, we're going to start moving into yellows and browns properly. So this is the cream. And you're probably thinking, why would you need a cream? Well, unfortunately, and I hate to say it because one of my cats is the same, white fur does not stay white, no matter what you do. I got this gorgeous yellow ochre colour. It's like a almost egg yolk yellow, as I was calling it earlier. There's quite a bit of that in undertone of fur, especially in brown fur. You can actually find quite a bit of yellow in the warmer kind of tan colours. And we are heading in that direction with a tan colour. There we go. Oh, this is a 600 number. I don't get it, right? They only have, what, 72 colours in total in the pastel pencil range? So how can you have numbers in this range? That doesn't even make sense. Maybe it's to do with the pigment. I don't know. I might Google that later and see if I can find out. This is 620. And now we're going into our browns. I just need them rolled away. Oh dear, sniffly. Right, let's have a look. I'm trying to go some sort of semblance of order. I'm also going uphill on the page, which is my usual classic, because I, for some reason, do everything that way. This is 610, and then we've got this one, which is 625. We're starting to head into the red browns now, rather than the yellow browns. 625, 625, and then this one, just 635. Oh, there's a theme. These are some of the darker browns. These are really soft. Just the amount of dust coming off them. Right, 635. I think I've only got one left, which is our reddest brown, which is more like a burnt umber, which is number 640. You can see how red that is on the page. Look at that. $6.40. So I think it's safe to say, I mean, they're soft. They're softer than the pastel pencils. Probably maybe on par with the Caran d'Ache. I think what I'll do is I will find a random animal picture on Unsplash and do a portrait with these pencils, just these, and the pan pastels, and see how they lay over the pans and how soft they are working on pastel matte, which is what I generally do for most of the paid portraits, and see how they fare. I found that the softer pencils are good up to a point, but they're not great for fine detailing, so we're going to see how that works out. So that's the pastel pencils. So, oh, levels of excitement. Right, let's get some watercolour out. We have my little 5mm tube. You sit there. And then we've got these two little half pans. I really should have just splashed out and got the full-size pans, but I don't know if I'm going to like. This is the problem, is I was worried. I didn't know whether I was going to like these. They're also an absolute nightmare to get out of the wrapper. Thank you. Ooh. Oh, there's nothing like freshly poured, shiny, glossy watercolour in a pan. And they've, honestly, the one good thing I know about Schminke is that they fill the pan all the way to the top, so you get quite a bit for your money, really. The full pans are value for money against how much of this you get. So there they are. just looking around to see what I've got. There we go, use the lid for that a minute. One of those moments where you're like, oh, God, I've made a mess everywhere. I'm going to use the lid of my gesso for the time being, because I know that's clean enough that it's not going to affect what we're doing. Oh, there we go, right. So I'm going to pop these off to one side and get them wet. Now I want to do them wet on dry and then wet on wet, because they are granulating. I believe the more water you've got, the more the pigment can kind of separate into granulation, and as that's what I'm really looking for, is to get the maximum amount of granulation out of it, then that's kind of what we want. I'm going to put a tiny dab of this because it goes so far. Onto here, I'm going to wet the 2 half pans. Right, where are they? Here they are. Right, give them a second, find my... Where did I do with the paintbrush? Oh, there it is. It's hiding in amongst all the pencils. Right, so I've got a paintbrush and some water. I'm going to start with the blue. I've kept this fairly light, so we'll see. Or have I? I don't know. Let's see. So this is the blue. And I've completely forgotten what it is off the top of my head. Oh, it's the haze blue, isn't it? Yeah. Or blue haze. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Oh, it's a gorgeous colour. Just making sure that I add a fair bit of that onto there. Pick up some of this forest green. I love colours like this. Now, it's a smooth paper, but look at the granulation going on there. And we want our desert brown. I should probably have put a bit more. I've got a bit of the green in that, which isn't helping. There we go. Now, these are the sort of classic colours that you get in Scotland. Your kind of steel grey blue tones, which is very sky-like, very water-like. It just generally covers a lot of sins in Scotland. Your blue-green, which obviously we've got a lot of fir trees up here, so we get a lot of these tones anyway. And then this gorgeous kind of, you can see where it's separated actually. You can see the orange coming out in the brown, which is really lovely. So get a lot of this in kind of some of the rock formations and the trees. You'd be surprised, but a lot of the fir trees have got trunks which are quite close to this colour. So you get a lot of that going on. But you can see how well that has granulated on this paper. This paper is relatively smooth. So I want to work with the green, and I'll probably do more with the stuff it. Do you know what? I'm going to get some more of this blue haze out. I really want to, I love this colour, or at least I love the potential of this colour. Come here. It's a tiny tube at the end of the day, but this stuff goes a long way. Okay, right, let us. So I'm going to wet a section, because this paper does suck moisture really fast, so I'm just going to make sure that I've really wetted it. Like that. And then I'm going to make sure I've got a fair bit of this pigment on. How have you dried like that already? This will be part of the painting underneath, so I wouldn't worry about it. So that's kind of wet on wet, and you can see it is kind of picking up the pigment a lot more. So the pigment's actually kind of binding together a lot more, which is leaving with these interesting streaks. Okay, let's try this with the, I know I've dropped water onto the page already. Let's try this. I'll do this one. I think I know what that will be. That will be where some of the hairspray on the painting on the other page has soaked through, and it forms these resists, which I really should have a look at and actually maybe do a bit more with because they're fun. Let's just hold you down a minute. And then we want the green. Oh, that was a lot more than I planned, but never mind. Let's see what happens. Right, let's get this green off my brush before the desert, just because it does tint. It's fine from blue to green, but obviously not the other way from a green into a brown. Oh dear. Right, let's try this one. Wet page, mirror page. Not wet enough. You're kind of wet enough. Hard to see. Oh, there we go. It's a bit better. See what that does. And then I'm going to wet a large chunk of this page here. I'm going to add bits of all of it on, and then add some sections and then drop some water on, because I believe that it's a great way to force it to form patterns and clump together. So just liberally wetting this page. I want this to spread nicely. So just make sure we've got plenty of water on. And then I'm going to pick up some of the blue. And some splats as well, because you know. Ooh, now I don't know if you guys can see it, but I certainly can, I can see the yellow forming on the outside edge of this blue pigment. That's quite interesting, because that's kind of what I was looking for. God, that's the only problem with them overfilling these pans, is it becomes really difficult to pick it up. Oh. Yeah, I figured that splatting might actually give me a better result, although I am getting it everywhere, so. Then we'll get some of the desert, clear desert. This one seems to be a bit harder to pick up, I don't know why. I might just need to work at it a bit to get it going. Right, let's let them dry for a minute, or at least semi-dry for a minute. But you can see almost straight away the kind of granulations happening in all the colours. What you can't see now though is the yellow coming through on that blue. A bit more here. Let's just add some of that back in. There we go, right. How is that looking? Yeah, you can see it goes like almost like crazy paving, which is really cool. Now, Where's the driest sections I can drop water onto? There. There. Just see what happens when I add just a couple of drops of water. It might still be too wet to move things appropriately. I might have to wait for it to dry a bit more. But yeah, you can see, the more it dries, the kind of more you can see. You see the orange coming out in the desert tones. That's absolutely amazing. And you can see it on this page now. You can really see the orange coming out. You still can't really see the yellow and the blue. I could see it on here, but only briefly. You can just see bits of it there leaching out of the blue. So I suspect that if I'm working with it, I might need to use the blue as stronger in order to build up enough pigment to be able to actually do things like that. But all in all, where's the tissue? I believe if I lift some of this off, I might be able to see some of the pigment better. Oh, yeah, in fact you can. So yeah, if I take some of this off, you can see how it's been granulating underneath. It's really pretty. So let's just splat some water on, see what it does. And we'll pop that to one side because otherwise I'm going to have a very wet page, which will be unusable for the rest of the day. Oh, so I'm really pleased with the colours because they're absolutely stunning. You can really see the orange coming out on that desert brown, which is gorgeous. I think that's going to be a great one to work with, and the tone and granulation of this blue-green is amazing. I know it's called forest green for a reason, it's just gorgeous. Yeah, you can kind of see where it's lifting and moving pigment around. It's still a little bit wet here. Let's just lift some of that water off. And that's because it's escaping off the page. I don't want it on the other page. Come here. Right. Well, hopefully you guys have enjoyed seeing my new art haul, and hopefully you'll look forward to seeing me working on it. I want to be using these on some of my more kind of, I don't know, scribble and splatter maybe, something like that kind of painting style, but basically working on these two, which you've seen in my previous videos. I absolutely love these. They look a bit darker now because I've sprayed them with a fixative, so they're not actually, still staining each other, but not as much as they were. And some of these is going to be great for things like the distant hills, the blue greys for the sky, the greens for the water, and especially for this one, as there's a lot of the kind of grey tones in this one, so just classic Scotland. So yeah, we'll be working on bigger versions of these two, using some of this as a base layer, and we will see what happens. So thank you all for joining me. I am now going to go back to bed with my pot of Vicks, which has been my best friend this week, and I will see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.